Hey, how to talk about price without losing the listing. This one is going to be very important for you because it's extremely relevant right now. All right, let's get into it. Okay, so one of the biggest mistakes that agents make is talking about the price like it's some kind of numbers problem. It's a strategy plus expectation conversation. So I'm going to show you a simple framework that keeps the seller from getting defensive while positioning you as the expert. Okay. And always remember, keep in mind coming from their perspective. They don't know all these things. They don't know all about it, but we can certainly help guide you. So number one, we're going to start with their goal, not the price. So before talking numbers, ask questions. This is where we can really help ourselves. Where are you hoping to move to next? What's the most important to you? Top dollar, speed, convenience, or certainty? What numbers were you hoping for? What made you choose that number? That's a critical question. So when they say that, we can ask them, well, how did you come to that number? Right? And it changes the conversation instead of, hey, you're wrong about price, rather than, well, let's build the best strategy for your goal. Okay, so we're going to create that framework. This is critical. I hear a lot of people that are frustrated with this because we know how important and critical the price is, just like know how critical watching these videos are. Please, please subscribe to my channel. 80% of you guys have not. Put a comment below if this helped. Certainly, I'm trying to make the absolute best content for you guys to help. And make sure you jump in my free group. And if you're ready to take the next step, jump in the paid. The links are below. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. Okay, number two, this is another critical one. We want to use data without sounding robotic. So instead of like Zillow says, say, hey, buyers determine the value based on the homes they compare yours against. So now we want to show them here's some recent solds, here's the active competition, here's some pending homes, here's the ones that have done price reductions, and here's the days on market. And then if you ask, if you were a buyer looking online today, which home would you pick? And you show them a number of different homes. And that's a powerful question because sellers start to see the market through buyers' eyes. And that's usually the biggest issue is they're completely looking at it from what they want to get from it. And they've got this price that is locked in because they've already spent that money, right? Let me say that again. They have already spent that money, so they don't want to lose any of it because they already have plans for it. But then if we get them to switch that perspective, right, and having which home would they pick, they start to go that, oh, okay, because they start seeing that market through the buyer's eyes. And that is going to open that up and at least start to get them to think that way. And then it's going to lead it a little bit easier when we go through the next steps. Hopefully these things are helping you guys, okay? Because I know I've been there myself many times and I know what it's like, right? Because I understand both sides of that. I totally get it. Okay, so explain, number three, what happens when you overprice? Because most sellers think, oh, it's not a big deal. We'll just come down later, right? And it hurts them. And they don't know that it's going to hurt them because they're thinking they literally can just do that and here's the price and we're good. But the reality is this. We know this. Overpriced homes usually sit longer. They're going to get fewer showings. They help sell competing homes. They become stale. They are going to become they're going to require larger price cuts later and often net less money overall. We have seen this time and time again. And a great line, if you need to say it, is hey, the first 7 to 14 days are when your home is going to get the most attention. So we don't want to waste that window. Okay, that's going to properly set up. Now we want to give them some pricing options. Okay, so instead of numbers, give them ranges. So option one is aggressive, right? This is the highest possible price. We're going to get fewer showings. It's a longer timeline and it's a higher risk, right? So now you go back to what their goals, what they wanted to accomplish, and we can say, hey, this one is an option, but it probably is not going to meet, right, the goals that you had in mind. Or if it does, they have time, right? Option two is market value. So you're going to get some strong activity. There's a better chance of multiple offers. It's kind of a balanced strategy. And of course, option three is competitive. It's designed to create urgency. It's going to give you the highest traffic and potential bidding situations. This makes the seller feel they're in control instead of pressured. And remember, if they, let's say they go with whatever, we can always say, hey, not a problem, just as long as we're open to making that price adjustment if we're not getting something in the first week, the first few days, the first whatever, right? I always like to do that. So they've already said yes to the next plan if it doesn't produce the results that they're hoping for. And it's not a problem. We're going to try to pick the best one for what their goals are, but we have now something in place. So number five, separate emotion from strategy. Sellers often price emotionally because they just remodeled or they raised kids there. They need a number. Their neighbor got more. Zillow inflated their expectations. So a strong line might be, look, I completely understand that you feel that way. My job is to protect your equity and position the home where buyers will actually act. Now, this keeps empathy while staying authoritative. We have to lead with confidence, but we have to be caring as well and understand where they're coming from, right? Because think of if we were in that situation, we want the same. Okay, number six, use the market vote script. One of the best scripts. We don't determine the final value. The market does. Buyers vote with showings and offers. If we aren't getting activity, the market is telling us something. Okay, this removes personal conflict, right? So this is very powerful. Use that. That's going to help them understand that it's not us. We want to, if we can sell this home for $100 million, we would want to do that. For 10 million, right? For a million, whatever's exceeding the value. Of course we would. But the market is ultimately going to determine that no matter what price we put. Okay, so seven, this is critical. Set expectations before the listing. This is huge. Tell them, listen, if we don't have strong activity in the first 2 weeks, and I would even say in the first week, in the first few days, the first weekend, we must be willing, right? We need to be willing to adjust quickly. Now, future price reductions don't feel like a failure. In fact, we tell them that is what's going to help you the most based on your goals. So strong closing script. My goal isn't just to list your home. My goal is to help you sell it for the best terms possible in the time frame that you want. So pricing correctly gives us the highest probability of making that happen. Love that one. Okay, so pro tips. Never argue price. Guide them with questions instead. Use visuals, chart sold map, price reductions, side-by-side comparisons, making pricing easier to understand. I love it when we have theirs for what they want to put it for. Not a problem. We show what the competition is and we ask them, which one would you pick? Which one do you think buyers would pick? Don't sound desperate for the listing. Confidence wins trust. Okay, and tie price to market strategy, right? To the marketing strategy. Price is going to affect the traffic. Traffic affects the offers, and offers affect the final price. Okay, guys, hopefully this helps in a value. Please make sure you subscribe. If it helped you at all, put it below. If it did, I really want you to win. I know this is something of real value for people because these are hard conversations to have if you're not using this kind of framework or explaining it, going through. But just in general, these aren't the easiest ones. But the more you master these kind of foundation principles and the kind of the guide and the framework to use, and really coming to see it from their perspective, truly caring and trying to help them the best way that you know to be able to help them and guide them to get the most that they can in the time frame and help hit their goals. It's gonna pay off a lot. You definitely want to practice and role play these. I'll put them in the description so you have them. But thank you so much. Please subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one. Thank you so much, and take care.